Hi! So as you can tell by the title of this video, I just want to come and talk about protective styling. Now, as you guys do know, I recently had a setback, and I feel like my setback was due to protective styling. Now, I know some of you guys are looking at me like, protective styling is supposed to help your hair, it's supposed to protect it. So how did you have a setback? Too much of a good thing can be bad. That's probably not the saying, I probably butchered it, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you get my gist. I pretty much overdid it on the protective styling the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018. Like, I just did it too much. So in this video, I just want to come and tell you guys some things and tips to help you guys out, and pretty much things that I feel like I did wrong and the reason why my hair pretty much had a setback due to the protective styling. So the first thing is mastering simple protective styles. And I think that's where I went wrong. I put in some feed-in Ghana braids probably about 2 years ago. I'll link the video up in the iCard, but I did those for a little bit and I hadn't really mastered it, but I did it good enough that it looked decent when I went out in public like it does now. And because I felt like, hey, I've mastered, or not mastered, hey, I can do this one, I decided to jump into something extreme like box braids and then jump again into something like faux locks, which I think I should have just mastered doing the feed-in back cornrow braiding first, mastered that, see how my hair worked with it, understood my hair, and then jumped into the more, I guess, advanced protective styles. And that's what I feel like. So I feel like you should master the simple ones. You know, don't try to just go from not being able to do any protective styles, not be able to cornrow your hair, and thinking you're gonna put some faux locks in, some box braids in, some cool cornrows with cool styles and designs like that. I would definitely say first try to make sure you can plait your hair, and once you can plait your hair properly, then make sure you can do cornrows, just like simple cornrows, no hair added, just your own hair, and then start adding hair. Also make sure you can do simple parts before you try to do crazy parts like triangles, octagons, I don't know, whatever shape you guys want to do with these parts. Just make sure you can do the simple parts first. The next thing is to know what protective style works for your hair. Now, everybody's hair is different. Everybody's hair's threshold can handle different things. With me, I love box braids, and I've worn them a few times, but I've realized that every time I've taken them out, my hair has shed a lot and caused a lot of breakage. Now, it could also be because of step one, I haven't mastered the simple styles, so me and box braids might be a little advanced for me and me putting them in the wrong way. But I just feel like my hair doesn't do well with box braids, and I don't want to ever force a protective style on my hair that my hair does not like. You want to listen to your hair when it comes to protective styles. Not every protective style is for everyone's type of hair. If you have fine hair, you might not want to do a protective style that causes a lot of weight and pulling on your fine hair strands. If you feel like you have coarse hair, you might not want to do a protective style that has like too much parting and manipulating and moving your hair into ways that it doesn't want to go. So just know what type of protective style works for your hair. The next tip is do not leave your protective styles in too long, and I am a culprit. I leave them in for a long time. Like, they're not even protective styles anymore. They're kind of like neglect your hairstyle, and that's what I've done. So I know that I'm the type, when I put a protective style in, it looks decent, I leave it in for as long as I can. Like, I stretch, I get my money's worth, I get my time and effort worth, because me putting these protective styles in takes a while, so I feel like I'm gonna leave it in because it took me hours to do. And that is not, like, you can't correlate that. Just because it took you a long time does not mean that you should leave it in for that long, because, you know, you try and get your money's worth and your time's worth. And that's what happened to me. I had those faux locks in for probably 2.5 months, and I should have took them out beforehand, especially because I was going in chlorine water, beach water, salt water, like sand and everything in my hair, and I wasn't properly washing my hair. I just decided to keep it in. Like, me and protective styles, I'm the type of person, when I put a protective style in, I tend to neglect my hair, and I know that about myself, so I try not to put protective styles in that can last a long time, because I will stretch it double what it should have lasted. Like, when I had sew-ins in my hair before I started my hair journey, I kept them things in for 5 months. You should not do that. Like, I got my money's worth. So yeah, make sure you do not keep your protective style in too long. And to piggyback off of that, if you are going to keep your hairstyle in for a decent amount of time, like over the normal, like, I guess 2 to 4 weeks, you want to make sure that you have proper care, like you are properly caring for your hair. So that's another thing that I had a flaw in. I don't have a real regimen for how to keep my hair like moisturized and good and all that stuff when it's in a protective style. You want to have a regimen for your hair when you wear it out loose, and you want to have a regimen for when you are in a protective style. Another tip is, or another thing is, to prepare the fake hair. I know some people are allergic to the fake hair, and if you put this fake hair in your hair without kind of washing it and kind of doing an apple cider vinegar rinse on the hair to get the excess gunk off, it can cause your scalp to be inflamed. And that's another thing. You don't want a protective style to, 1, mess up the length of your hair, or 2, mess up your scalp, because you need your scalp, because that's like where your hair grows from. Like, you don't want to mess up your scalp. That's like the soil to a plant. Like, you can't have bad soil because the plant won't grow. So you don't want to have a bad scalp due to you have an allergic reaction from the fake hair, and then you keep it in. If you put a protective style in and your hair is itching to the point where you're just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, or it's so tight, please just take it out. The protective style is not worth it. Just put the protective style in, get your 1, 2, 3 cute Instagram pictures, and take that bad boy out. Like, that's how I feel. Like, you should not be putting a protective style in that's going to damage your scalp because you're having an allergic reaction to the hair. If you also suffer from a setback from protective styling, don't be scared to protect style your hair. Like, don't run away from it. You know, face your fears. Like you protect styles, I'm going to master you. That's how I felt. I looked in the mirror and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to run away from protective styles. Like, I'm going to learn how to protect style my hair properly. Like, other people can do it, I can do it. Like, just give yourself the motivation to jump back into it. I know sometimes when we have a setback on our hair journey, we want to cut the whole thing out. Like, we don't ever want to do it again. And just because something caused a setback doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just might have been your technique and how you did it. So you might want to just change up the technique and regimen to have it work better for your hair. So don't be scared of protective styles. If one of them kind of like pulled and ripped out your hair, either stray away from that specific protective style, because you gotta think there's a lot of different protective styles. There's wigs, there's weaves, there's half wigs, there's braids, and there's different forms of braids. So there's buns and everything like that. So definitely, if one protective style does not work for you, try another one. And like I said beforehand, start with the simple ones first and then move on. Like, you gotta baby steps. You gotta build the foundation. Like, I feel like my foundation with protective styles is still a little weak, and I was trying to build onto it, and then my house crumbled and it had a step back. And you don't want to be like that. So yeah, leave in the comment section below any tips or tricks that you have if a protective style caused you to have a setback. It probably will help somebody else. It probably will help me out. I definitely still need some help. But yeah, I'll talk to you in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.